Stop the video right now if you think you were born into the wrong family. Because what I'm about to tell you will change everything you believe about your life. There's a 3,000-year-old secret that only 1% of people know. Ancient texts from Egypt, Tibet, and India all mention the same thing: souls who volunteer for the hardest missions on Earth. They call them the willing ones. If you grew up in a toxic family, if you felt like an alien in your own home, if you always wondered, why me? Then you're about to discover something that will shock you. Your family didn't break you. They made you. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the universe needed you to experience exactly what you experienced. But first, let me ask you something that will give you chills. Have you ever felt like you were watching your family from the outside? Like you were the only sane person in a house full of chaos? If yes, then you need to hear this. Hit subscribe, because this information is not taught anywhere else. The Awakening. Here's what nobody tells you about toxic families. They're not random. They're carefully designed training grounds. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're a soul in the spirit world, and you're given a choice. You can be born into an easy, loving family where everything is handed to you. Or you can choose the advanced level, the family that will push you to your absolute limits. Most souls choose easy mode, but not you. You looked at the hardest family available and said, "Give me that one, I can handle it." But here's the crazy part. You didn't just choose any toxic family. You chose the exact type of toxicity you needed to develop specific superpowers. Was your family controlling? You developed fierce independence. Were they emotionally absent? You learned to validate yourself. Did they criticize everything? You built unshakable self-worth. Every toxic behavior in your family was like a personal trainer for your soul. And just like a muscle that grows stronger under pressure, your spirit became indestructible. But wait, there's more. Scientists have recently found something called genetic memory trauma, and strengths that pass through DNA for generations. Your toxic family didn't just affect you. They affected your great-grandchildren who aren't even born yet. And you're the one chosen to stop the cycle. Think about this for a second. Out of all the souls in existence, out of all the possible families, you were selected for this mission. Not because you were weak, but because you were the strongest candidate available. The Cosmic Conspiracy. Now, I'm going to tell you something that sounds like science fiction, but it's backed by quantum physics. Your toxic family members. They're not your enemies. They're your co-conspirators. Before you were all born, your souls made a contract. They agreed to play the villain in your story, so you could become the hero. It's like actors in a movie. The person playing the villain isn't actually evil. They're helping create the story. But here's where it gets weird. Your family members don't remember this contract. Their human minds are completely unaware that they're helping you grow. They think they're just living their lives, making their choices. This is why trying to change them never works. You're not supposed to change them. You're supposed to use their toxicity as fuel for your transformation. Let me give you a real example. I worked with a woman named Sarah, whose mother was incredibly narcissistic. Every conversation was about the mother's problems, her drama, her needs. Sarah felt invisible her entire childhood. But here's what Sarah discovered. Because she never got attention at home, she developed the ability to truly see and understand other people. She became a therapist who could connect with clients in ways that amazed her colleagues. Her mother's narcissism wasn't a curse. It was training for her life's purpose. The universe needed someone who could help other invisible children, and the only way to create that person was to make her invisible first. This is happening in your life too. Every painful experience in your family was preparing you for something specific. Were you the scapegoat? You're being trained to defend the innocent. Were you the forgotten child? You're learning to value yourself without external validation. Were you the peacemaker? You're developing skills to heal broken systems. But here is the part that will blow your mind. Your family's toxicity is not just random chaos. It follows specific patterns that match ancient spiritual tests. In Buddhism, they talk about the hungry ghosts beings who can never be satisfied no matter how much they consume. Sound like anyone in your family? In Christianity, they mention testing spirits, entities that challenge your faith and strength. Ring any bells? Every major spiritual tradition talks about the same thing. Certain souls face harder tests because they're being prepared for bigger missions. The hidden superpowers. Here's what makes chosen ones different from everyone else. You develop abilities that normal people don't have. First superpower, energy detection. You can walk into a room and immediately feel the emotional atmosphere. You know when someone is lying, when they're in pain, when they're dangerous. This isn't luck. It's survival training from living with toxic people. Second superpower, emotional immunity. Normal people get destroyed by criticism, rejection, and manipulation. But you've been vaccinated against emotional attacks since childhood. What breaks others only makes you stronger. Third superpower, pattern recognition. You can see toxic cycles before they complete. You can predict how conversations will go, how relationships will end, how systems will fail. This is because you've seen the same patterns repeat in your family for years. Fourth superpower, healing ability. People are naturally drawn to you when they're in pain. They feel safe with you, understood by you. This is because you've learned to hold space for darkness without being consumed by it. But here's the secret that will change everything. These superpowers only fully activate when you stop fighting your past and start using it. Most people from toxic families spend their whole lives trying to forget, trying to heal, trying to become normal. But chosen ones are not supposed to be normal. You're supposed to be extraordinary. Let me tell you about Marcus. He grew up with an alcoholic father who would rage for hours every night. As a child, Marcus learned to read micro-expressions, voice tones, body language, anything that could warn him when danger was coming. Today, Marcus is a top negotiator for international companies. He can read people so accurately that he prevents conflicts before they start. His childhood trauma became his $1 million skill. This is what I mean by using your toxicity as fuel. Your family didn't break you. They forged you. Like a sword that's heated in fire and hammered on an anvil, you were shaped by pressure and pain into something stronger than regular steel. But most people don't realize this. They see their scars as weaknesses instead of proof of their strength. Here's a question that will change your perspective forever. What if every painful memory from your childhood contains a hidden gift? What if every moment you felt unloved was actually preparing you to love others more deeply? What if every time you felt powerless was teaching you where your real power comes from. The cosmic mission. Now comes the part that will give you chills. Your toxic family wasn't just training you for any random purpose. You have a specific mission that only you can complete. See, the universe is going through a massive shift right now. Old systems are breaking down. Governments, religions, families, relationships. Everything toxic is being exposed. And who do you think is leading this change? People who understand toxicity from the inside. People who know how broken systems work because they grew up in them. You're not just healing from your family's toxicity. You're here to heal the world's toxicity. This is why so many chosen ones are becoming therapists, teachers, activists, artists. They're using their painful experiences to help others break free. But your mission isn't always what you think it is. Sometimes it's not about helping strangers. It's about changing your own family line. Every time you choose differently than your parents did, you're rewriting your family's DNA. Scientists call this epigenetics, the ability to change genetic expression through behavior and environment. When you break a toxic pattern, you don't just free yourself, you free your future children, and their children, and their children. You become the ancestor that your descendants will thank. But here's the most powerful part. Your mission also involves your family members themselves, even the toxic ones. See, they're trapped in patterns they don't understand. They're repeating behaviors that were passed down to them. They're suffering too, even if they don't show it. And you, with your superpowers, your training, your strength, you might be the only person who can help them see a different way. Not by trying to change them directly, but by becoming so powerfully yourself that you inspire them to question their own patterns. I've seen this happen hundreds of times. The chosen one in the family starts healing and growing, and slowly, mysteriously, the whole family dynamic shifts. Not because they forced anyone to change, but because they became a living example of what's possible. This is your cosmic mission, to be the light that guides your family out of darkness. Not through preaching or fighting, but through being. And if they never change, that's okay too. Because your real mission is not to save them. It's to save yourself and show others that salvation is possible. So here's the truth that will set you free. You were never the victim of your toxic family. You were the hero of your own story, training for your life's greatest mission. Every painful moment was preparation. Every cruel word was forging your strength. Every time you felt alone, you were learning to trust yourself above all others. Your toxic family gave you the greatest gift possible. They showed you exactly who you didn't want to be, and in doing so, they helped you become who you were meant to be. But now comes the most important part. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to keep playing the victim, or are you going to step into your power as a chosen one? Are you going to keep resenting your past, or are you going to use it as fuel for your future? The choice is yours. But remember, you didn't survive everything you survived by accident. You survived because you have work to do. You have people to help. You have a mission to complete. The world needs you to stop hiding and start shining. If this video opened your eyes to who you really are, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Because chosen ones find each other, and together we're changing the world. And if you want to learn the specific steps to fully activate your chosen one abilities, check out the video I've linked in the description. It's called The 7 Signs You're a Chosen One and How to Unlock Your Powers. Remember, you're not broken. You're not damaged. You're exactly who you were meant to be.